Hello, and thanks for using TickBoom, a free service that helps high school students with their math problems. In this video, I'll be answering question 5 of the 2020 Board of Studies Extension 2 trial exam. So I'm just continuing on with the series where I'm working through each of these questions on the exam systematically. So here in question 5, we're told an object is projected directly upwards with an initial velocity of u. It experiences a fixed gravitational force and air resistance during its trajectory. The object eventually reaches a terminal velocity of vt, and let upwards be the positive direction. Which of the following graphs best describes the object's velocity over time? And we've got 4 options as usual. Each one has a diagram here, and I think the key to this question is to look at the key differences between the diagrams and then use a process of elimination based on what we know can't be true. So if you do find my explanation helpful, please be sure to give it a like, and if you're someone who wants to keep their finger on the pulse with the kinds of questions that other students are struggling with, be sure to subscribe to my channel so that you can stay in the loop. Alright, so I've drawn up our 4 diagrams here, being the 4 options we can pick from. And I've noted some of the key facts from the question because I think at the end of the day we're just going to use what we're told to kind of strike out those options that can't be correct. And the first fact that we're told that I think helps us is that the object is projected upwards at an initial velocity of u. So because it's projected upwards, what we know is that initial velocity, u, it must be positive. So knowing that u must be positive, it means it must start above 0, which means these 2 options here, B and D, that have u being negative, they can't be correct. Panic boom! So now we've really just got this down to a 50-50 coin toss. The correct answer must be A or it must be C. And it really comes down to whether the velocity gets higher and higher before it gets to its terminal point, or whether it gets lower and lower. And I think the fact is we've got gravity and air resistance, I guess having a downwards force on this object as it's projected. So what that means is gravity and air resistance are going to make the velocity get smaller and smaller over time, not higher and higher. So from that we can conclude that from our initial velocity u, the velocity must get smaller and smaller as it approaches its terminal velocity, not higher and higher. So I think that means we can strike out A, Panic boom! And therefore the correct answer must be C. Panic boom! So I think that's all there is to that question. I think probably one of the easy ones so far, at least on this exam. Really just almost applying common sense, really. You know, often with these multiple choice questions, you can really almost deduce what the correct answer must be by comparing what you've been given. Because often it's just the subtle differences between your options that let you kind of strike out certain options, and then eventually you kind of get it down to a flip of a coin, and then even if you can't work it out, at least you got a 50-50 chance. But usually you can then kind of apply what you've been told to kind of pinpoint the correct answer. So hopefully that's clear and it's all made sense. And tick boom.